أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How you guys doing? Good morning from London. This is your brother Anwar Ali here with another vlog. This is my third vlog, and yeah, today what did I want to share with you guys today? I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit about myself. I don't think I've introduced myself enough. Considering this is the third vlog, I think you should know a little bit about myself, what you're subscribing to, and if you wish to take my advice or not. Okay, so I live in London. I think that was a given. I think I've mentioned that a few times. Ethnically, I'm Eritrean. So if you've never heard of Eritrea, I'll save you the trouble of Googling it. It is on the Horn of Africa. So basically, if you see a picture of Africa, it will literally be just on the horn, on the side, and it's we share borders with Sudan and Ethiopia, and we have the Red Sea as the ocean. I don't know if we share a border with Djibouti. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So that's Eritrea. It's not really famous for much. There's a dictatorship there at the moment. I don't know if you've heard of Reporters Without Borders, but they rank Eritrea as the second worst dictatorship in the world after North Korea. So not really something to be proud of, but that's where I'm from ethnically. I was born in Saudi Arabia, and I came to the United Kingdom in 1991. And if you haven't guessed it already, I am a Muslim. Yeah, I'm a Muslim, man. I was born a Muslim. Obviously, that's not enough to just be born a Muslim. You have to obviously act upon it. But I wanted to just put that out there. I've only really started practicing this religion properly about 10 years ago. Before then, to be honest, I didn't really think too much about it. I was practically raised in this country. All my values were pretty much British values. And when we talk about British values, I don't even think British people even know what those British values are. But I did ask a friend, and I said to them, well, what is British values? And this isn't the topic of the show. I just wanted to quickly sort of cover this. And they don't even know themselves. I suppose to them, British values is what British people do every day. But even that doesn't make any sense, because there are different types of British people. Okay, how about if we talk about British culture? All right, let's talk about the sports they love. They love football. They love cricket. Some love rugby, not all. They love their soap opera, TV shows like EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, stuff like that, if you've heard of these shows. You hear a lot about fish and chips, bangers and mash. When I think about British culture, I think more about not the culture of the people, but the things that they do as a whole. The things that, if you were to mention British culture, that's what, these are the words that pop up. The Queen, but not everyone likes the Queen and the monarchy and the entire family. But the reason why I mention values is because 10 years ago, when I started practicing this religion, I thought about what are my values? What makes me me? Do you know what I mean? And when I thought about this is around the time I graduated from university. And I thought about this, and I thought, you know what? We really don't share too many of the same values. There's the common stuff like, being good to your neighbors and equality for all, and free speech. But even in free speech and equality for all, not everybody practices it. Okay, so I looked a little deeper into my own religion, which is Islam, and I wanted to know what are the values of Islam, and it literally blew my mind. It was like an entire ocean of the tiny raindrop of what I knew in my own life and what I implemented in my own life. Because all I ever did, pretty much all my adult life was to just pray 5 times a day. If you knew that Muslims pray 5 times a day. But other than that, I had no knowledge of nothing, of anything of the religion, who its founder is, who is the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And why do we say peace and blessings be upon him? Why is there just one God? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm told there's only one God, but why is there only one God? Like these sort of questions, when you have them answered, you start to build your identity. So the question of this vlog is, what is your identity? Who are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, look at the recent elections in America, okay? I'm not gonna judge or be biased or anything like that, right? It showed clearly that the identity of the people who live in that country, the United States of America, is clearly divided, almost 50-50. Because not everybody feels the same way. So then you can't really say that you are one unity, one society. Does that make sense? The whole country, let's use America for an example, because it really is just a multicultural subnet of so many different cultures and people and whatnot. You have different religions, different cultures, different likes, dislikes, cans, can't do's. America it's not even one country with one law. It is literally 51, or is it 52 states? So it's basically 50 plus countries with their own governors and their own laws. And even within those sort of states, you have different types of groups of people, of ethnicities and shades and whatnot. Even if, and I'm being an extremist here, if you were to take everyone out of America who isn't a Donald Trump supporter, okay? Because everyone thinks everyone that's a Donald Trump supporter, they're all just one type of people. If you were to take everyone out of America who isn't a Donald Trump supporter and leave those who are, America will still be divided because everyone is so different. So what is your identity? What is my identity as a person? So when I was looking into my own religion, Islam, it brought me closer and closer to the identity that I have today. So what is this identity? I keep talking about identity, so let me spill the beans. Okay, so what do all Muslims have in common? Let's start with the most obvious, which is what we call in Arabic Tawheed, which means to simplify it, it just means believing in one God. Islam is a monotheistic religion, and not a lot of people put a lot of thought into monotheism, but it's incredibly powerful, and that over 1 billion people believe in one God. It's mind-boggling because it's hard enough to find 1 million people, 1,000 people to believe in one thing wholeheartedly, unequivocally and without any question. Okay, over 1 billion people are absolutely certain that there is only one God. And even outside of this over 1 billion people who are Muslim, there are people out there who call themselves spiritualist or whatever spiritual name they have. They also believe that there is a creator. There's something. There's some divinity out there. There's someone greater pulling the strings. Okay, so this is a powerful source of uniting people to one idea. Okay, so this Tawheed that we just mentioned, the believing in one God. So, and the next thing is, as Muslims, we believe in the things that he created. He's the creator of all things. He created the earth, he created the people that live in it. We believe that things were created, not necessarily things that they just came about out of nothing, like this Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is exactly what it states. It is a theory. And I know what people will say. But Anwar, your religion, there is no evidence for it. But there's plenty of evidence. But this video is not about me convincing you to become Muslim. I'm me explaining to you about identity and how Muslims believe in one God, that they believe everything was created by him. Do you understand? But just one quick fact that a lot of people misunderstand is about evolution. See, evolution exists in Islam, but not the way atheists see evolution. So the way evolution exists in Islam is that Allah, he created everything, but he also created a system where things evolve. So like, for example, animals can evolve into another form of species, but the atheists believe that everything evolved from some bacteria and it sort of grew into some weird fish. The fish went into became a lizard of some sort, and the lizard became something and something until it became a human being, or a monkey, and then it became a human being. No. When it comes to humans, God created humans, period. We didn't come from a monkey or some slug or a bug or anything like that. I mean, the only thing that, if we had to use our imagination, that might sound weird, like where we came from, is a fetus. I mean, where it came from and it grew into a fetus. And as a matter of fact, if you read the Quran, there's a full description of the whole process of how a human is created within the womb of its mother, and how it came about. And this is information that came out over 1400 years ago, when this information never existed. No one had this. No one had the tools to find out exactly what happens inside the womb of the mother. So again, back to identity, we've covered that as Muslims we believe in one God. So it's a monotheistic religion. And number two, the second part of our identity is that he is the creator of all things. He created me. He created you. He created everything. Now you're going to ask, maybe some silly people ask, oh, did he create a car? No, he gave us the knowledge to create it. Okay. That's just how it works. All right. One really cool analogy I learned was as an artist is that when you draw a picture on a piece of paper, that character does exactly what you tell it to do. It moves how you tell it to move. It poses how you tell it to pose. It lives in whatever background or backdrop that you design for it. See where I'm getting at, right? Because I am the creator of that drawing, of that character. If I want to delete this character, it can't stop me. It has no will of its own unless I give it will. Do you see what I'm trying to say to you? Now that sounds really harsh. I'm not trying to say I'm God or anything, but I'm just trying to say that this is another way to explain that everything has a creator. Nothing can come out of nothing. It's impossible. No scientist will ever say that something, like the cure to cancer, doesn't come out of nothing. It has to come from something that exists. Cancer didn't just spontaneously come out of nowhere, or AIDS or HIV or malaria, or I'm just thinking about things that are sort of on a wide scale. Nothing comes from nothing. Everything comes from something or someone. Okay, so the third thing that unites all Muslims and gives us this singular identity is in the belief that there's this word called qadar in Islam, and that everything is decreed by God. Okay, when you will be born, when you will die, time and space, you know, how much wealth you will attain. You know, this as a Muslim, it gives me a sense of security, in the sense that I believe that he has decreed something for me, and all I have to do is do my best. All I have to do is do my best. I don't need to get angry, frustrated when I fail. You know, I have someone to be thankful when I do something good. Okay. And I'll be thankful even if a catastrophe happens, you know. So this qadr, you know, the will of God, is another thing that unites many people. So what is your identity? What makes you who you are? For me, is knowing that there is one God, and that he created everything, and that everything is from his will. When I will die, when I was born, who I will marry, you know, my next job, where my money will come from, if I will eat today or eat tomorrow, it's all his will, and that's God. Yeah, I just wanted to introduce a part of me and a part of my life that is really important, and it makes me who I am. It helps me in making the decisions that I make in my life. I don't do anything without questioning whether is this pleasing to Allah or is it displeasing to him. Now that sounds weird to someone who doesn't believe in a God, because you just do things asking the question, is this pleasing to me or not? Do you know what I mean? But for me as a Muslim, I have to ask if it's pleasing to God, because there are many things that I can tell you right now that is pleasing to me, but it's not pleasing to him. Yeah, I can think of a lot of things. Okay. But there are those limits, and there's good in those limits, because the one thing a lot of people forget, and I'm so happy that almost every Muslim believes in this and remembers this as much as they can, is that this life that we live is temporary. You know, everything in this life has an expiry date. Everything has an expiry date. Humans, material, animals, food, the weather. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. Even this earth has an expiry date. You go to any scientist, will tell you planets have expiry dates. Stars like our sun has an expiry date. Even this galaxy has an expiry date. They can probably calculate it. So the point I'm trying to say is that this whole universe in itself is temporary. Okay, and we will all return back to God. So before I start sounding like a hippie, I just wanted to say thank you for listening to me and getting to know me. You know, I'm not forcing this on anyone. I just wanted you to get to know who I am, a little bit about my identity, and I would love to learn about you. You know, I have Christians in my family. You know, I have aunties who are Christian, cousins who are Christian, and uncles as well, and I love them to bits. Do you know what I mean? And it gives me something to do on all the Christian holidays like Christmas and Easter, because I get to go and talk to them, and I love my family. It doesn't matter where they're from and what religion they are. And if you let me know a little bit about you, on the comments, it would be so nice to meet you guys. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If not, it's all good. There's no worries, man. At least I got a chance to introduce myself to you. And until next time, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you same time tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.